Shalom. First of most, all praises to Yahweh. Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Reka Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and all your brothers in the highways and the byways doing the work of the most and sincerity and in truth. Most Shalom. Alright, this is the brother Awar again, right, with another episode of Facts and Fiction. Right? This lesson is about the month Nisan and Abib, because I was speaking to a Jehova Witness and they are saying that Nisan replace Abib, and that's not correct. Right? They both represent the same thing. They use them intertwined for different reasons and different purpose. This is the reason why you have to go with the elders, apostle of GMS stress that we need to go into words so you know the meaning of words, so don't speak foolishness here. There is no place in the scripture that says that the month Nisan replace Abib, because they represent the two different words, two different meaning, but they represent the same thing. They are both the first month of the Hebrew calendar. Right? So we're just going to go into the scripture and show you that and show you the meaning, what them represent, and not a replacement. Right? So the fiction is that the month Nisan replaced the month Abib, and that is taught by Jehovah Witness. Right? So the first one I'm going to real quick is just a short thing, because we're just going to the meaning of the words and show you what them represent. Alright. Alright, the first one is Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 1. It said, observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover. Now, when the Passover, keep the first month of the year. So the first month of the year would be what? Abib. So observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy power. For in the month of Abib the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night. Alright. So first, to go into the month Abib. Salaka. And so it mean. Alright. Alright. The Hebrew word is abayab. Right? For Abib. It means fresh. It means young. Barley ears, barley. Month of ear, forming, of greening of crop, of growing, green, Abib. Month of Exodus and Passover. And they give a date March or April. This to show you that they know that the first month of the year should not be January, and it should not be in the middle of winter. Right? They know that. Then why they don't use it? Anyways. Alright, so the month Abib just means fresh. Which is which month of the year? Which time of the year? Which season? Springtime. Right? Because spring's supposed to be the first month of the year, when everything fresh, blooming up, everything ready, pretty, everything green, the land is luscious. Right? And I go down the strong definition from the unused root, meaning to be tender, green, that is a young ear of grain. Hence the name of the month Abib or Nisan. Right? So you say Abib or Nisan. It didn't say Nisan replace Abib or Abayab. Right? It said Abayab or Nisan, and we are going to Nisan right now. Right? So what Abib mean? It mean springtime, when everything fresh and green. Right? Everything start bloom up. That's how it mean. That's how it represent. It represent what? Springtime. Right? Which is when? The first month of the year. Alright? And the next one I'm going is Esther 3, verse 7. It said, in the first month of, no, this is what confused them, because around in Deuteronomy, they said the first month of the year is what? Abib. Right now in Esther, which is a different book, right? They say the first month is what? Abib. Is Nisan. Right? So this is Esther 7 verse 3 verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of the king Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is the lot, before Ammon from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. Right? So the first month in this text, they say Nisan, but around when I look up the Strongs in Deuteronomy 16 verse 1 for Abib, it said it give you the time when everything is green, and I said Abib or Nisan, so you can use Abib or Nisan. Abib just means fresh, like springtime when everything is green, everything is ready. Right? Everything is blooming up, everything is, the grain is much, it's plentiful, right? Now let us go into the Strongs for Nisan. Alright, the Hebrew word is Nayasan. Nayasan. Right? It's a their flight. Right? And what I'm in the first, what I'm in the first month of the year, what mark? You use mark the first month of the year. The flight, which flight? When time Yahweh Bashem shall deliver us out of the land of Egypt. Right? The time of when? The time of the Passover. Right? So the first month of the Jewish calendar corresponding to March or April. Right? Which is Naya San. Which just mean their flight, so that they're talking about the Passover. So you can either say Nisan, Nayasan, the Hebrew, or Abib, Abayab in the Hebrew. So Nisan did not replace Abib, right? They're talking about both of them can be used for the first month of the year, because spring is in the first month of the year. Is the first month of the year, which is Abayab, which means everything is fresh and ready and ripe. Everything is blooming, grain is plentiful. And Nisan just means flight, deer flight, representing what? The Passover, when Yahweh Bashem shall deliver his children out of the land of Egypt. Right? When Yahweh Bashem shall pass over the land of Egypt. Which means to deliver, we have to leave. Alright? So I guess that should round it up. Zane, not much on that. Zane, so Nisan did not replace Abib, not because I don't say Abib anymore in the scripture. It stopped there, and they start to say Nisan the first month of the year. That doesn't mean that Nisan replace Abib. Zane, so you just need to go into the words and see what the words mean. Both of them represent the same thing. Both of them are the first month of the year. Right? Springtime and the deliverance out of the land of Egypt, that was in the first month of the year. Right? Two different names represent two different things. Represent the same thing. They represent the same month. So they call it the first month of the year Abayaba, because it is springtime when everything is blooming up, everything is green, and the deliverance out of Egypt was in also the first month of the year, which is Nisan. Right? So they name the first month of the year. They have two names for two different reasons. Alright, so with that, most all praises to Yahweh. Bashim Shai, Bashim Kodash, the blindness to the apostles of GMS and all your brothers in the highways and the byways doing the work of the most in sincerity and in truth. Once a shalom.